Now let's introduce the concept of base and saddle. The base of stones is like the root of a big tree, the foundation of life. With a base, a group of stones can be considered settled, and there's no need to worry about being attacked. If a group of stones has no base, it's like a wanderer drifting outside with no home, and survival will definitely be very hard. Stones without a base are bound to be attacked by the opponent, and if not handled properly, they might even be captured. So the best approach is to have our stones settle in place, ensuring their own base and safety. Black's group isn't settled at this point. If White gets to play at point A, Black will lose its base. If Black wants to ensure its own safety, how should it grasp the proper extent of the extension? Black's 2-space extension is the locally best move. A 1-space extension would be too narrow, with insufficient points and eye partition. A 3-space extension would be too wide, worrying about the opponent invading. So the 2-space extension is the best play, as it can guarantee enough space to make life while not being too dangerous. Black's high 2-space extension is a bad move. We need to remember that a low extension makes it easier to settle, while a high extension isn't suitable for situations where settlement is needed. In this situation, White plays large knight move, and Black's base is taken away by Black. Black still remains a group without a base. In a situation where there are no surrounding configurations, how should Black choose to extend? Black only has one stone here, so only a 2-space extension can ensure its safety. In this situation, if Black chooses to extend at point B, it depends on the configuration in the lower left corner. Generally speaking, when there are no surrounding configurations, a 3-line 2-space extension is the safest move. As for when to use a high extension, that will be covered later. Black jumping towards the center is obviously a questionable move. This move gains no points or eye partition, and it's almost like a neutral point. After White launches a pincer attack, Black will suffer heavy losses. So everyone should remember that when you have only one stone and are in a weak position, you should choose a simple 3-line 2-space extension to ensure your own settlement and base. This is what we call standing 1 and extending 2. If White forces an invasion here, Black just needs to cross through on the second line. So, if one stone calls for a 2-space extension, what should we do when Black has 2 stones? Black has 2 standing stones here. Should we still go for a 2-space extension? Black's 3-space extension is the most appropriate interval. Standing 2, extending 3 is a good shape with sufficient efficiency, and it's not afraid of White's invasion. White choosing a low invasion is also an overplay. Generally speaking, Black just needs to attach to counter White. Although White launch a fierce attack, Black can cleverly dodge White's offensive. Up to Black's net capture, White gains too little in solid territory. Black has nothing to fear at all. Standing 2, extending 4 is dangerous. White's invasion is the vital point. If Black later tries to push through, White can strike out. Black's original extension stone will be damaged, leaving White to profit. Black's high extension is a move that should only be chosen with special surrounding configurations. If Black lacks good stone support below, after White presses on the third line, not only will Black's base shrink, but White will also have the nice move of a knight move at A, leaving Black dissatisfied. If Black avoids extending along the side and instead jump toward the center, being pincered by white is unbearable for black. When setting with a side extension, there are two other scenarios, standing 3 and standing 4. So how should we choose in these two cases? Black has 3 stones lined up at the top, and these 3 stones need to settle. How should they extend along the side? As mentioned earlier, the idea of standing 3 extending 4 is actually risky. White can use the same trick, choosing to invade, and black will struggle to respond. For standing 3, extending 3 spaces is still a steady and solid move. In this situation, black remains unafraid of white's invasion, making the extension very safe. This is correct solution. So, in this situation, where black has 4 stones on this side, how should we choose to extend? Black's 5 space extension is a bad move, as white can simply invade in the middle. Therefore, in the context of settling with a side extension, the maximum safe extension is 4 spaces. Please be sure to keep this in mind. In the case of standing 4, as shown in this situation, a 4-space extension is feasible. If white still chooses to invade, black can respond with the diagonal move. If white bombs, black can hana, where the triangle black stones comes into play effectively. Black can underneath attachment at A to link up. No matter how white invades, black can either safely block white or link up smoothly. Therefore, please keep in mind the methods of side extension in Weiqi and the corresponding measures.